Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today, you guys are in for a treat. Oh man, are you in for a treat? This is one of the key comics in my collection. This is Fantastic Four, number 52, 12 cents. This is the first appearance of T'Challa, the Black Panther. Look at this cover, and man, this is in great condition. Great condition. I haven't looked at this in so long, so I haven't read this in I don't know how many years. So we're gonna open this up together, and we'll go on my shoddy memory. But look at this Jack Kirby cover. I love the Fantastic Four. I've been doing a lot of magazines and obscure comics lately, and I just got a bucket load of new subscribers. I got to thank your boy Zach over at Comics Matters. I sent him a picture of my comics, and I was kind of hoping he would show it, but man, he like showcased my picture. So thank you so much. Well, I thank you. So let's go back to some great comics, and let's have some fun. Look at this Comics Code Authority. This is really good condition. I love the Fantastic Four. I haven't looked at this in so long. I check out these ads. Check out these ads. X-ray specs, miniature secret camera. They flip out cameras today, and the indicia is over here. So let's look at the indicia by Karnak Publishers Group. What year exactly is this? 1966. So the Black Panther. So this is older than me, this comic. Ultra featuring a way out and wonderful Wyatt Wingfoot. It had to be told as only Mighty Marvel could tell it. So let's look at the credits. Smilin' Stan Lee, art by Jolly Jack Kirby, inking by Gentleman Joe Sinnott, and lettering by Sam Rosen. This is the A-Team. I like Frankie Mata. I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong, and Vince Coletta as but this is the A-Team. This is you can't get better than this. Look at that splash page, the Black Panther. Oh man, voted Tale of the Month by Stan and Jack. So I'm being really careful with the pages. I'm sure you guys can appreciate that. See, here we have this flying Gizmo, and look at that cityscape in the back. You know, George Perez and Jack Kirby are just masters of that sprawling cityscape, and there they are, just flying around in this crazy old car. If only Johnny came home from college. So at this point in Fantastic Four history, Johnny was going to Centerville, and I think that was in Connecticut, and that was like why he was back and forth in the Strange Tales comics. That might be over at this point, but I'm not sure, but I think that's what they're referencing. And look at this. I love the 5-panel format. I'm writing a script for a comic, and I'm using mostly the 5-panel format. When I hire an artist, they could change it around if they want, but I'm writing it as five panel. I just think you could do so much with 5 panels. I'm not good enough, professional enough, or whatever to come up with anything crazier than that. So just look at this. I love the zooming around, the colors in the background. Anyway, so the Skycraft is yours to keep, Mr. Richards, if you accept my chieftain's invitation. So the Wakandan embassy has given the Skycraft to the Fantastic Four as a means to make a diplomatic endeavors. He goes, but you were going on a trip. You're telling me. So, very well. As soon as my wife gives things some Dramamine for his air sickness, we'll be delighted to accept your offer. Now, I don't know if this is him goofing around, but he used to be a test pilot. So, motion sickness, air sickness. What's going on, Ben? So here he is. He looks like a metal device from inside his toga, but it's so small. Can he actually transmit a message halfway around the globe with that? This is 1966. It looks like Wakandans had cell phones back in 1966. And here he is. You see this by CCW, Cosmic Channel Waves. So here he's sending a message all the way around the world to Wakanda. And here we have Wakanda. This is the first panel to depict the Wakandans. But it's another Fantastic Four. I'm not going to read it all. I'm just gonna talk through it. I like that. And here we have raise the total. Let the spirit begin. It's time to become the Black Panther. It's time for the Black Panther to stalk once more. It's a single gesture. This statue opens up. Look at the technology. Whoa! Your brother greets you. This day the hunt is about to begin. And let's look at some ads. So we got Daredevil number 17. None Are So Blind. Looks like Spider-Man showing up. And then we got Amazing Spider-Man number 33. And then we got Marvel Tales. Marvel Tales, this was a reprint. So this was bigger. Notice that all the other comics were 12 cents. This is 25 cents. And it's got 4 comics in one. Or 4 of the main tales in one. I don't think it has all of the stories from the actual comics. And my chair's sinking. Government Surplus. Pitcher's Battle. I love the old ads too. Sorry for dwelling so much time on that. So here, the devices are fully operational, and I remove my stocking costume from its carefully concealed compartment. So there's his costume. Look at that. And this is the first inside. You know, we had the cover, but here he is, first in panel of the Black Panther, and it's fully black. I love that. It just looks so much better. In a lot of the later years, I guess due to coloring or printing or whatever, they use like blue highlights. Sometimes they use purple highlights. That's why in the movie they had like the purple energy. They were definitely paying homage to the comics with you know, because the black and purple goes so well together. But I love this when they use these gray and black tones. It just makes the costume look so good. And this is Wyatt Wingfoot. Wyatt Wingfoot was Johnny Storm's college roommate. And he's like supposed to be like this 6'6" Hulk of an American Indian guy. I always had a thing for Wyatt Wingfoot. I used to think he was a cool character that was never really explored too well. And he went with the Fantastic Four on a bunch of adventures around this period. I think he stopped around like 73, 74. And then they brought him back for a while as like a love interest for the She-Hulk. And here's the opening up his window. I like the things just surprise. Hey, Joe College, what's the good word, little itty bitty buddy? Hey, it's bitty buddy bitty you blue-eyed bird brain. I know you're as good-natured as ever. I just love the little like brotherly ranting that they have. And it's funny because I got to get my chair to come up. I don't know why. It just decided to conk out and depress as I was sitting. And of course, as you may or may not know, Johnny Storm, this is his sister, Sue Storm Richards, the Invisible Woman, Benjamin J. Grimm, the Thing. This is my favorite superhero character in all of comics. I love the Thing. And I'll talk more. And there's Reid Richards. He's probably my second favorite. I love Reid Richards, and he's kind of getting, I don't know, they're doing him dirty these days, and they're all happy to see him. And hey, we're going to Wakanda. We're going to Africa, and now let you think we've forgotten about them. Let's briefly turn our attention to okay. And this is the Inhumans. They debuted this from like Fantastic Four 40 to 60. This 20-issue run. Oh my God! They just did so much. We had the introduction of the Inhumans. We had the introduction of Galactus, the Silver Surfer, and now the Black Panther. Oh man, just such good stuff that came out. Next, the issue right before this was This Man, This Monster. I got to break that up. Just classic comics. And here, the Inhumans. And this is the Hidden City. This was a Jack Kirby trope. But I say that it's a Jack Kirby trope, but I have to admit that it's a comic book trope. And it's probably a science fiction and a fantasy trope. The Hidden City that's super advanced. Because in just Jack Kirby, we have Adelon, the Hidden City of the Inhumans. We have Wakanda, the Black Panther. And then we have the Eternals with Olympia. And we have, excuse me, I never cough and then I start recording and I cough. I guess that's my tribute to you boy Zach. And then they have what's the name of the city where underneath Metropolis, where the cloning technology. There's all of these hidden cities. It's just such a trope. So the Inhumans, they have this protective barrier around them, and they're somewhere in the Himalayas, and this protective barrier keeps pollution out because it keeps them from getting like sickness and dying. And this is the royal family. Jack Kirby and Stan Lee more often was famous for saying that every comic is somebody's first comic, and I'm treating every video as somebody's first video. And this not only to me, to John's Longbox, but this could be your first video about Fantastic Four. So let me introduce. This is Gorgon. He has the power. He has these hooved feet, and when he stamps his feet, he creates shockwaves like miniature earthquakes. This is Karnak. He's the one. Well, Black Bolt's the one whose power changes all the most, but Karnak, he has this enlarged brain, and he could super analyze anything and find out where its weakness is. So he kind of has like super karate. And this is Medusa. She has prehensile hair, and the hair is super strong, and she could control it, so it could grow and grab things and keep the thing at bay. And this is Crystal. She's an elemental. She has control of the elements and basically plot powers. So basically weather control and lightning and sometimes like magnetism and stuff like that. But her powers seem to change a lot. And then there's Black Bolt. He's the leader of the Inhumans. Black Panther Boltagon. His voice has the quasi scream, and as far as I know, they never explained it. Why should they? And the merest syllable could destroy molecules, cause mountains to collapse. So he has to be silent. And I like later on they made it so that to control that awesome power, he needs supreme wills, and always he kind of has a stick up his butt because he has to be. He's like Cyclops. Cyclops, if he can't control his powers, Black Bolt has to control his powers, or it's the destruction of his city. Can you imagine knocking down a voice powerful enough to destroy cities inside this globe? He'd kill everybody. So he has to control it. He also has this antenna, and he could control free electrons and basically make like constructs. He's super strong and he could fly, and then he has like whatever plot powers. So here's Karnak, just chopping this. This is like a huge diamond. He found the microscopic flaw and chopped through it. I always thought that was a cool power, always a cool power. And here he is trying to. I think this is the Negasphere. That's right. This is Maximus the Mad. He's Black Bolt's older brother and the real king. He's the rightful king, but he's crazy. So he got deposed, and Black Bolt got enthroned, and he'll never forget it. So he's Maximus the Mad, and he has like powers like Professor Xavier. He can control minds and telepathy and stuff like that. He's also a super genius, and he created some sort of field around the Nega Zone, so it's like a partial materialization of the negative zone where Annihilus lives, and they can't penetrate it because it's like bordering dimensions. So Karnak is always trying to break through. Black Bolt is always trying to break through. And Gorgon is like, I'll do what you tell me to do, but he kind of likes staying isolated because he doesn't trust people. And we're back to the other hidden city of Wakanda. And Wakanda, a meteorite hit Wakanda, back, I don't know, in the dawn of history, I don't know. And it was vibranium. So supposedly there's only two places where you can find natural vibranium, Wakanda and the Savage Land. And because of the Wakandans, they found the vibranium and its unique properties, they're more advanced than the rest of the world. In the Savage Land, that vibranium, I think Kree scientists used it to create this technology that preserved like a warm climate for dinosaurs. So vibranium is the plot metal, whatever. We've all seen the Black Panther movie. So here they are. They're flying down there with this envoy. I don't like it. There's something ominous in the air, yet I don't want to alarm Sue. And Wyatt's still sleeping. I forgot that they brought him. That's what I mean when I say I haven't looked at this in years and I forgot. So look at this classic Kirby. So now they're landing in I think this is the technical jungle, the technological jungle as they call it. And it's just like a artificial jungle, just like all of these apparatuses and stuff like that, like almost like an outside mall of wonder and awe. Wakanda is a cool place. So now they're flying through, and just Jack Kirby gets to go crazy. I love that. And here they are, nice group shot, waking up Wyatt, who went to the Bruce Banner school, the Bruce Banner pants shop, and got himself some purple pants. I think they just didn't want the blue to blend in with the Fantastic Four. So now, of course, the Thing. You got to run off and start smashing stuff, right? That makes total sense, right? Why stand around and ask questions? Smash stuff. So here he is. He gets zapparooted, and Johnny's going to help him out. And then look, here comes. Look at the cape. That is so cool. I love the strap around here. That is just cool. Black Panther was one of my favorites. Just so cool. And he just jumps out and just pushes the Johnny Storm out of the way, who's no stronger than a normal person, and Ben Grimm. Ben Grimm was taken by surprise, because remember, he's supposed to be stealthy. And I'm just being real ginger, flipping the pages. I'm sure you can appreciate it. And look, even Wyatt, he's getting revved up. He's ready to go. He's not a pansy civilian. He'll take some lumps too. And then Reid goes to throw a punch, T'Challa ducks underneath. He flames on. And I've said this a few times when I talked about the Fantastic Four. I was a stupid kid. I thought that Johnny Storm had to say flame on in order to turn on his power. But whatever, he just says it. And here he is. And I like this. This is like a lot of like Spider-Man agility. He's just flipping around. And he leads Johnny Storm into the most obvious trap ever. But he was a hothead, and it's like a vacuum, and it's sucking out his flame. And here he is. My prey learns quickly. They have elected to stop and plan before plunging witless into another foolhardy attack. This is a victory too easily won is too soon forgotten. Now, when you read this comic without the benefit of 40, 50, 60 years worth of history behind it, this is the first time we've ever seen the Black Panther. Guy shows up, gives him a sky cycle, come on down to Wakanda. They stop in this technological wonderland jungle, and T'Challa comes out and starts attacking. You're right away, you're like, villain, okay? And we're seeing his thoughts over here. He's not really helping out with this presupposition that he's a villain. So here they are. Wyatt's he's listening for vibrations on the ground, and he's over there. Things just ripping stuff apart. Look at this. You got to be kidding me. The only guy who gives me orders is the guy who can lick me, and there ain't no such animal. Look, I'm not presuming to give orders to anyone. It's patently obvious that a superior intellect built this electronic jungle, and everything you could touch may be a booby trap. Use your head, Ben. Wingfoot is dead right. So here they are. He's a big guy. He's a strong guy. He's a handsome guy. And here they are talking. Nope, Sue didn't do anything. They're planning. Jeez, you want to borrow my crying towel? The odds seem hopeless. And here they are. The Wakandans are attacking. These guys are banging drums. These guys got crazy weapons, and they're firing. Fire! What is this? A gag? They don't expect. They're not light beams. Then the vibration. We've been hit by magnetic anti-polarity beams. What does that mean? And they'll start flying away. So it's like anti-gravity weapons. Thwop, thwop, thwop. And here we got some Grit. I used to joke about this when I first started my channel. Grit apparently was a super popular magazine, newspaper type thing, and I don't know what it is because they sold to rural like farmer communities. And I lived in a city. I grew up in New York City area, so I never knew anything about Grit. So I always thought it was like a mystery. What is this? But there you go. So Sue's flipping around. She turns invisible, and the Black Panther could sense her. Though a panther may not see you, you think I fail to hear your soft footfalls? He's right. So they're establishing his power base. He's incredibly agile. He has heightened senses, and he's looking for, if she stands still, there's no footfalls for him to hear. So he's like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? And he goes, you have turned visible. That means you're about to start your force field. At this point in Sue's history, she could either use the force field or turn invisible, not both. She trained and developed the ability to use them both at the same time later on. So he turned on his force field and immediately drops it because, I don't know, and he shoots gas out of his fingertips. And she's subdued. And Thing's drinking water, washing his face, and he jumps on top of him, and he starts wrestling him. He goes, one of the things, I've long been the boxing champion of this entire continent. Well, goody for you. And now they're fighting, and he's fighting, and he actually lays one on him, and now they're fighting again. Alas, your skill cannot nearly compare to mine. We'll see about that. He's as mad as a rhino. I got to sidestep, and then... So, I like this. Right? Look, so I got to get out. So, right over here, T'Challa got a little overconfident when maybe if he dodged and stuff like that, he would have a chance with the Thing. But he's going wrestling with the Thing, so he realizes he bit off a bit more than he could chew. So he goads him into attacking this, and he gets shocked and beats the Thing. So he made a tactical error, but he was fast enough and smart enough to ride it out. And then here's Wyatt taking out some regular Wakandans. They're watching this, so just fighting out. He's supposed to be a powerhouse, smashing stuff. And I don't know, but I think they were like setting him up for like his own comic or something like that, because they gave this secondary character a lot of time. And here's Reid Richards. I like that. He's making a lasso. and he's not quick enough to get the Black Panther. And you can see over here, I'm talking about the blue highlights. He looks so much better with the black highlights, like right here. But, you know, here's the blue highlights. But I guess that's just the lighting. And he's beaten, and I love the lines on the gloves. I love when they add the lines on the gloves. Mr. Fantastic, leader of the helpless before the power of the Fantastic Four. My hour of triumph is at last. And again, you're still thinking that the Black Panther is a villain at this point. And he goes, I don't know what your motive is, but you'll learn, as so many have learned before, that nobody attacks the Fantastic Four without paying for that privilege and paying in full. He switched the lights back on, and look at him. I love the pose. I love the pose. And the Black Panther is one. What does he do? And he gets caught in these titanium cuffs. And then the torch comes. Whoa! The Human Torch is free, but how? So here he is jumping around, and of course the torch freed everybody else. He gets him out of the cuffs. The Invisible Woman's throwing a force field at him. And how? Because you can release your force field now, so he's lost the element of surprise. Without that, he's no match for us. Come on, take a swing at me. You don't want to get frustrated. Surrender, Panther. It's the only choice you have left. How? How did you do it? I must know. It was what? He freed me and freed the others. But you overlooked one fact. Sometimes one man with no superpowers could tip the scales. So now they're, he goes, you promised to launch an attack against us. A man such as Black Panther. So Reid Richards is sizing him up. He realized that, he goes, and then he takes off his mask. He goes, I'm T'Challa. I'm the, but with my Panther power, now that the hunted are shelf place, as you see, I am the hereditary chieftain of Wakanda, perhaps the richest man in all the world, but it's not always so. Because this is one tale of tragedy and deadly revenge. So next issue is a follow-up and explaining all this. When T'Challa and the Fantastic Four become allies. But so, I'm not going to leave you in suspense. He was testing them. He wanted to test his own powers in order to become king of Wakanda. It's not just like in the movie, you just challenge the next guy. Not only did you have to win, but then you had to prove that you were good enough to be the king. So he already defeated the challengers, but they were ordinary Wakandans. Then he took the heart-shaped herb and battled the Fantastic Four to a standstill to prove to everybody else that he is worthy to be the king. So let's. I always like to look at the names. There's a name. Garlad Starro. Don. Okay. Larry Bush. I worked with a Larry Bush. Dave Torch Weik. John Hulk Stewart. Vernon Doom Haskell. Eugene Behringer. Doug Nickel. Okay. And Donald J. Brown. I just like to look at the names and get a kick out of it. Sometimes you see a creator, like an artist or a writer. Spaceman Strength and Endurance. Sculptor of Living Masterpieces. That sounds like a horror movie. And then we're looking for people who like to draw, says Norman Rockwell. I've seen this ad a billion times. So here we are. This is Fantastic Four 52. Yes, 51 was the classic This Man, This Monster that I will be showcasing. God willing, I have plenty of time to do this channel and people keep, watching. I will get to all these amazing stuff, and I want to get back to some classic Marvel, some classic DCs, because I've been straying with some obscure titles as of late. So here, Fantastic Four. They're my favorite. I grew up reading the Fantastic Four. My very first comic, if you've seen this channel, was Fantastic Four 177. It was Claw and the Molecule Man team up to fight the Fantastic Four. It was drawn by George Perez, written by Len Wein, and inked by Joe Sinnott. And I was hooked. And back then, you could get back issues cheap. I bought this in a collection. And I'm so glad I did. It was an amazing collection, and I'm so glad I was privileged to be able to get these comics. So good. And as you can see, in the introductory video, I have the comic book room where everything stays. I just love to just walk into my comic book room and just look through covers. It brings me back to that's one of the things. When I see a cover of a comic or I look at a panel, it takes me back to where I was, at the time. And I just love that, like listening to an old song or smelling an old smell. And I love the smell of old comics. But I digress. All right. I always talked about my concept of the Pinocchio, and the thing I I forget who exactly I was talking to, but I said, like, the Thing, he wants to be real, like Pinocchio. And I just always said that Thing is a Pinocchio. And to me, a Pinocchio is a character that has lost their humanity and misses it, it desires it, it wants to get its humanity so badly that it treasures what it's lost more than other people. Like Johnny Storm could be a jerk sometimes, take being a good-looking, normal, famous human for granted because he never lost his humanity. So by contrast, the Thing is the most human of the Fantastic Four. And I always say this, he's the cornerstone, pun intended. He's the cornerstone of the Fantastic Four. He's the heart and soul. He's the glue he's the cement that binds them all together, because he could be aloof. He could be brash and arrogant. At this point, her personality wasn't, but she is, later on, she's tasked with like a lot of the day-to-day operations that he's too, focused on his science to do it. He's being a jerk. Not really a jerk. He's a brash. I'm sure these days he's like Instagram snap happy kind of guy, and he's wallowing in his self-pity, and she's keeping making sure that the bills are paid and stuff like that. They all have he's the one that kind of gets on my nerves the most. He's my least favorite of the Fantastic Four. But anyway, introduction to a great character. He was originally going to be called the Coal Tiger, but I think Stan interrupted and said, "Come up with a better name," and Black Panther is a better name, just a better name, and the rest is history. What a great comic. I've been rambling now, so I think I'll stop. I'm trying to recognize when I start to ramble and cut the video off, so I'll stop here. Thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you. Please leave comments. I try to comment to everybody. I only have like 100 and so subscribers, so it's easy to comment to everybody. So if you comment in the comment section, I will respond, because I don't have a lot of people, and each video doesn't really get a lot of views. So thanks a lot. I'm so glad. My goal was, I originally wanted 100 subscribers before my birthday. I got 96 at my birthday, and then I said, well, how about 100 before Christmas? I'm up to 105. So you made the Christmas goal, and I'll take the spillover and retroactively put it back into my. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, and thank you for the new people. Thank you for the old people. Thank you for everybody who took time out of their busy day to just listen to me ramble on and gush about my love of these comics. Thank you so much. Bye bye.